Hello, my favorite people, and welcome back to another episode on The Growth Project. We talk all things mindset, manifestation, money, relationships, and more. So before we start on today's episode, I just want to say thank you guys so much for continuously coming on here with me. I know I'm like a broken record, but I always just want to give thanks to you guys. And as well, let you guys know a little bit about the progress of the podcast and everything like that. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I've been talking about having some people on here and having our first interviews for the podcast. So we are in 2022. That is a lot of 222s. That is number 6. So even in numerology, 222, for me, that is a number of corporation. So it is a number of 2, of a couple, of, I think it's even the year of the lovers. And I can go into that totally next time, but 222 for me just means a lot of joining forces with other people, and yeah, just 2. So I decided to do, and actually this actually came to me, a lot of these opportunities actually came to me through various connections and whatnot, but it's just funny how it all played out kind of perfectly. But it seems that this year I'm going to be focusing on bringing on a lot of different people, a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different problems from all over the world, not just the United States, like further. So that to me is very, very exciting, and I've already started filming some of these interviews that are gonna come out. I have filmed at this point 2 out of the 4 or the 5 that are planned. Yeah, the rest is coming. So this is for all those who kind of want a timeline. I'm supposed to be filming, I'm supposed to be recording, and possibly we're going to have video as well. So recording and filming for the rest of January. So this is content that will come out after that. If everything goes well, that should be out during the month of February, which is a month that I definitely want to charge with this content. So that is kind of like the timeline for that right now, for all of those who are kind of like interested in the future of the podcast. And there is many things obviously still to come, but I am someone like, I really truly flow with the universe and I let it kind of guide me the same way it guided me to these people. And I just feel like there's just so much like less resistance this way, and I feel more connected to the things that I'm doing, and like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in a sense. So yeah, like I said, that is a little bit the timeline. So we're gonna have some great interviews coming on, and like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, I have been posting about that, but I made a post on my feed, and you guys can go back and look at it. We are like January something, like 19th or something. Yeah, we are January 19th. So yeah, I was just saying, like, I missed you guys, and I wanted to just come on here, update you guys, talk a little bit, because I kind of like wanted to start the year off just by launching these episodes, but I was just like, I'm not gonna wait, because you have to figure out the schedules of everyone, and like time to record and time to talk, and it's a lot of back and forth sometimes, not a lot, but it's back and forth. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to wait to come on here to talk to you guys, because I have a lot that's being downloaded right now, and a lot that I want to share. So I'm just like, I don't want to hold back. So I came on here to make this quick little impromptu podcast episode for you guys. So hopefully it is well received and warmly received. Hold on, guys. My setup is very delicate right now, and I moved, and it's just like. So, by the title of this podcast, I know why you guys are here, so we're gonna get started. We are going to be talking about how to stop living in the past, how to stop recreating the past, and how to stop like being in a self-fulfilling, predictable future. Okay? So I think that this topic is very, very important right now. And I think it's so, so relevant because a lot of us are in this period where we want to transform, where we want to change right now, but we're having a hard time. Okay. And if you're having a hard time with changing very old habitual patterns, subconscious patterns that have been in your life for the longest while, mechanisms that have been created to protect you or that protected you from like trauma and from past experience, like it is not easy to get out of that and to rewire those mechanisms to actually serve you in the present moment when you are comfortable being protected like that, when this is what is familiar to you. So essentially, what we're doing is that we have an experience, right? So I'm going to take the easiest one. We have an experience like we get our hearts broken, or like a relationship didn't go as much as we planned, or we whatever. So we then experience heartbreak, right? So either for the first time, either for the second time, whatever the case may be. And then we start, we're in that space, right? We're in that space of heartbreak, the emotion, the depth, the feeling broken, the cracking, the feeling too much, not feeling anything, like the agony of it all, to be honest, right? And then still trying to move forward and pretend like your whole emotional state is not fragile as fuck, you know what I mean? But we experience that heartbreak, and then the next time that we sometimes enter into a relationship, it can go either or. You could be naive to the point where you're like, I don't care, I'm going to give my all, I'm going to ignore all the red flags. Or it can also go the way where it's like, I'm going to be guarded. I know what's going to happen. Like, I can possibly get my heart broken again with this person, and I know what that feels like, and I don't want to feel like that again. So basically, I'm going to protect myself, or I'm going to keep like this sort of barrier so that I can ensure myself that I'm not giving all of me, or I'm not giving to the point of that when this thing is over, I should be okay, because I wouldn't have given so much or all of me or whatever. So you go into this new relationship, right? That's what people mean like when you say you go into this new relationship with the baggage of the old relationship. And on top of that, you have declared that there is no other outcome for this relationship other than heartbreak. So you have physically changed yourself in the present moment to match up to that reality. Again, I'm so sorry if I went so far there, guys. Replay this. I'm going to try to explain again. You see, these should just be coming. So you're basically training your body right now in the physical moment of how detached you need to be so that you don't experience the same thing that you experienced in the past. Therefore, you're creating your future reality from your past experience. So how do we stop living in the past and stop recreating the same situations and the same future, basically predictable future, is that we need to make our present decisions that we are making kind of like independent of those past experiences and those past moments that caused us to that caused us emotional turmoil. Okay, I know that I'm saying this like it's easy, and obviously anyone who's listening to this, anyone who has been doing some self-healing work, who has been, expanding their awareness, expanding their consciousness, working on themselves, doing the internal work, knows that this is not easy. This type of work is never easy. Like, emotional work is never easy. We run most of our lives like away from our emotions, and even when we do indulge in our emotions, like when we're quote unquote like super sensitive, even then our emotions are like overruling us, so we still don't even have a healthy relationship with our emotions. And this has been a huge part of my journey, and because of a lot of external stimuli and just like a lot of chaos, I would say in my environment when I was younger, I learned to emotionally regulate myself because I didn't have really anyone to show me how to regulate my own system. So I kind of had to find ways for my own self to calm my own self down, or to not react like in a way that would like make the situation worse, or so I kind of like learned to regulate myself on my own. And then but I was not always doing it in the most healthy way. Sometimes I was shutting down so that I wouldn't feel the emotion right then, like the anger and stuff like that, and I wouldn't act out right then. But then I wasn't transmuting that anger somewhere, right? So it was still staying in me, and it was still wreaking havoc in like other ways in my life. So being emotionally healthy, emotionally strong is so important. Yeah. So now that you guys understand all of that, I'm going to go back to how to stop living in the past. So I'm going to put you guys on some real tea. This is how I see it. This is the best way that I can explain it, and kind of explain the process a little bit and the benefit of this process. This is obviously from my own experience and from my own research and observations. So don't quote me, but you can try this in your life and see if it works for you. So basically, we are kind of like the accumulation of a lot of subconscious programming. We're our personalities. I know we like to think that we're super authentic. Some people are, but even to an extent, we have all been programmed. We've all been programmed before the age of 10 to certain belief system about the world. We've been conditioned to certain values. We've been conditioned to certain viewpoints. We've been conditioned to certain situations of the world, certain realities of the world, how we perceive the world to be, how we perceive ourselves in the world. Like, there's a lot of conditioning that we received, okay? Whether it be by our parents, whether it be by the society or culture, whether it just be by TV and movie, we have been programmed. We also have a lot of subconscious programming around our behavior and our relationships, how we relate with others as well. So we have programming that we're receiving from whoever, those who shall not be named, and then we have programming that is a result of experiences in our life. Okay, so we're going to be talking more about the second type of programming, of when we have experiences in our life, how they program us to act to those same circumstances in the future. So if you have a belief in your head, let's say you grew up with a belief that money is scarce, or that money doesn't exist, or money doesn't grow on trees, or that money is hard to come by, right? Emotions around money for you are scarcity, fear, anxiety, stress. These are the natural emotions that you admit when you think about money, because those are probably the emotions that were displayed to you when conversations about money was brought up. It was probably a lot of stressful situations. It was probably a lot of emotionally charged situations and stuff like that. So now you kind of have these feelings about money, or this emotional state of being surrounding money. So whenever money is brought up, or whenever things about money is situations with money is brought up, it generally makes you feel that specific way that you feel about money. So for everyone is different, but it's usually that combination of fear, stress, scarcity, and lack. Like, I don't have enough, I'm going to suffer, I'm going to be poor, I'm going to lose it all. So first of all, this is what you're subconsciously emitting out into the universe about money. By the way, I just want you guys to be very, very conscious of that. This is the energy that you are sending out about money, right? But you're not aware that you have this belief, or you have these feelings, right? Or now you're aware that you have these beliefs and you have these feelings, and you want to change this state that you're in, that you have like memorized since childhood around money, right? So now you decide you want to change, you want to start doing your affirmations, you want to start saying, I'm a money magnet, I'm a multimillionaire, I'm a billionaire, but nothing's changing, right? Nothing's changing. You're spending money, or even better, you decide to start saving. So you decide to start saving, you have a goal, you start good, and you're like at $2,000, $3,000. All of a sudden, something happens to your car, right? Or all of a sudden, an unexpected expense comes into your life, right? You have to pay $500 randomly like that for your car. Or you have to give your kids some money that you were not expecting to give them for some sort of trip or expense or whatever. Now that kind of throws you off of your game, right? And in that moment, when you're thrown off of your game, if you do not choose how to consciously respond, if you do not take time with yourself, like what I mean by take time is like feel the emotion without reacting for a second. Give yourself space to choose how you want, choose what vibration you want to send out. What you might do, because that situation kind of throws you off your game, you're going to be very tempted. And what I mean by very tempted is that most likely you're going to fall back into the habit subconsciously, because this is going to trigger you. And these are going to start triggering some thoughts in you like, you see, even when I start to save money, my money's going down. I can't even keep it. Like, thoughts are going to start popping up all of a sudden. And if you're not conscious of that, and if you're not conscious of the change that you're making, you're basically letting your past influence you by thinking you're never going to have money, or that money is still so hard even when you're saving and you're sacrificing. Look, all your money is still gone because you had a $1,000 expense. Instead of thinking of like, damn, thank God I saved. Right? Thank God I saved, because if I wouldn't have saved and I had stayed in my old money patterns, this extra $500 to $1,000 would have completely really hurt me. But thank God I effing saved. So that right there is like the power of choosing what you want to believe. So that's the power of choosing what you want to believe. But if you are not conscious of this, you can slip back into the old emotional patterns of feeling like, you see, money is hard, money doesn't grow on trees, money is hard to come by, money is always stressful, and you're gonna start slipping, and then you might be back at like $500 and like, oh no, I gotta save again. Then you start saving, and then you reach at 3,000, and then it happens again, and it happens again, and then it happens again. And I think I saw studies that like most people cannot save more than like $3,000 to like $5,000 when they hit either 3,000. The first mark is 3, and then the other is 5. When they hit those marks, they either usually stay there, like something happens in their life that takes some money out, or they usually, like, that's a kind of ceiling that they believe that they cannot go over subconsciously, and they continue to sabotage themselves to stay at this point. And I found that very, very, very interesting, because I'm like, $5,000, that is not a lot of money. So if a lot of people are capping themselves at that, that is absolutely to me, that's crazy. And I don't say crazy like that, like, that's horrendous in a sense, that more people don't believe themselves to be worthy of, like, having more than $5,000 in their savings. So if you're still in that pattern, in that past pattern right now, the next thing that you need to know, if you want to stop recreating the same future, or essentially what we call living in the past, the next thing that you need to truly understand and, like, start to download is how to really let go. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what letting go means to me. So like I said earlier, we're going to bring back the example of the heartbreak. Sometimes we believe that letting go means that we need to let go of the memories of that person, let go of the emotions surrounding that relationship. Sometimes we don't even want to bring up positive memories from that person, because either they hurt us, so we feel like, oh, we don't deserve to think positive things about them, or something like that, or we feel weird thinking about, like, maybe positive memories with someone else because we're with someone else right now, or any of those thoughts, right, that may come up. So people think that sometimes letting go, you just have to, like, completely delete the person from your brain and from your heart and everything like that. So my whole take on this is that to truly let go, what you're doing is that you're letting go of the attachment to that situation. And I'm going to go further, don't worry. What I mean by that is that because that situation happened, you now have a specific view about the world, or about relationships, or about something. There's something that you develop because you gave that situation a specific meaning, right? Because you gave that situation, you made that situation mean something. You know, that situation could have mean that now you're unconfident, or you don't believe in your worth, or you think bad things deserve to happen to you, or that you're not a good person, or that you're a bad person. So whatever you made that situation mean, whatever you made that situation mean, from that point, the way that you view the world and the things that you attract are now different, because you have decided on a new reality. You have decided on a new thought, on a new belief that you are going to now believe in and collect evidence on and project onto the clear board, the whiteboard that is life. The thing about letting go that you really, really want to know is that you're not letting go of the person or the memories or all of that, or the experience. You're letting go of that belief. You're letting go of whatever beliefs that, like, changed you, or that moved you away from your heart, from the openness of life, from being from wanting to try new things, from wanting to experience. There are some beliefs that you have gathered from that time of being heartbroken, or after, that has been restricting you, right? So that is what you're letting go of. You're letting go of needing to predict the future and saying, well, this happened in the past because of this, so if I can avoid this time around, I can avoid heartbreak. Or maybe even saying, like, oh, I'll look out for these signs so I can know when things are happening. Or maybe, like, basically you have entered a new reality. You have changed your state of being based on an experience that have happened to you with a specific person, one specific experience, and now you have used this as a blueprint to generalize how the rest of your relationships or how the rest of life goes, because you have said like this is how life works, right? And that so that's the download that I kind of got lately. And I was like, okay, this is something that's like ripe, that is here, that I want to share with you guys. So I hope that this made sense, and I hope that it helps someone, and I hope that it kind of opens you guys' eyes a little bit to, you know, the patterns and the habits that you've had in your life that you've fallen into that are hard to get out of, you know, because they are memorized states. There are states that you have been in for long times, and sometimes it's just hard to get out of it because your body doesn't know anything else. You know, your body doesn't know what it doesn't know, like it doesn't know what it hasn't fully experienced yet. And if you want to get out of only creating what you're familiar with, you have to kind of like put yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable, right? So that you can now create new feelings in you, new emotions in you, have new experiences, open up the possibilities. So with the example of the heartbreak, going into another relationship, but having your heart open, understanding that what happened in the past doesn't have to reproduce in the future, staying open and staying in the present moment with that new relationship, dealing with things that come up in the relationship from a point of view of looking at this relationship as completely separate from all the others. Do not judge this person based on what past people have done or said. You have to be grounded right now to give things its actual chance, its actual possibility of blooming into something new and beautiful. I think essentially you have to, like on a spiritual level, you have to learn to keep your heart open. If you don't want to keep recreating from the past, I know like the beginning of this video was very more like brain, body, emotions, but just to end it off on a spiritual note, you have to learn to keep your heart open. Your heart is your attraction center. Your heart is the most powerful attraction center in your body. Your mind being, I would say your mind maybe being the second, but your heart is number one. So if you learn to train yourself to feel the feelings that you want to feel, and essentially that's what manifestation is, right? They tell you to feel it before you experience it so that it comes into your physical reality. Because if you're still in the state of the past, the closed nest of a heartbreak, then you cannot let new love in, right? You cannot blossom in new love because you're in the minus of love. Your heart is closed, you understand? So how could you possibly attract a love that is good or right for you? Your heart, the thing that is attracting the right people, the right places, and all of that to you is closed off. You're basically going through life without a guidance system, or not connected to one of the most important guidance system of your life, the one that is in tune with your desires and your wishes, right? So you might even end up getting into worse relationships that will only end up reaffirming that reality to you. So to end on a very quick recap, stop living in the past. Let go of your need to constantly predict the future from your past experiences. People can change. Situations can change. Not everybody thinks the same. Not everybody had the same upbringing. Not everyone you don't know, especially people who do their work, like, stop generalizing life. Like, you know, all like niggas ain't shit. All guys are the same. All girls are the same. All jobs are the same. You're keeping yourself in that perpetual loop. If you want to change and if you want to expand your horizons, expand your possibilities in life, you're going to have to be willing to believe something different. You're going to have to be willing to get off of the automatic programming that is in your brain, that is telling you, that is actually calibrating you towards the negative, towards the separation, towards the lack. Your brain and your body is most likely calibrated towards fear right now. And in that state, the decisions that you make are for fear and for security. It's to survive. Basically, it's to survive. So decisions made based on survival versus decisions made for fulfillment, for purpose, for a greater purpose in life, for a long-term longevity. Like, survival is thinking about the now. Longevity and all of that, you need to, you can't be in a survival position. Your body and your mind cannot be running on that overdrive and still be making the type of decisions and the type of reflections and seeing what life is actually trying to teach you. You know, if you're always on overdrive, if you're always running, hustling, moving so quickly that you don't even see what's in front of you, or you don't even have the time to ask yourself, like, is this what I really want? Am I moving in a direction that I truly want to be going? Like me, I was working these jobs, getting promoted, going up, and then I had to ask myself, I'm like, dude, even if I was at the top of this company, like, is this what I want to do for my life? And the answer was no. So I had to make a change to support that. I couldn't keep staying in that and saying that, like, yeah, I couldn't keep staying in that because that was the reality that I was creating. So I had to, I did it. I made a physical change. I made an internal change and a physical change to support my new direction. But everything starts internally first. So if you just want to start just internally letting go, like I said, letting go of that need to predict, letting go of your need to, because we're trying to feel safe mentally, right? Oh, if I can tell what that person's going to do, if I can predict, then I feel extra safe. But you can't predict life, and you can't predict all the time how people are going to react. You can't predict everything. You really have to rely on universal support. And you have to also rely on yourself and your capabilities and your emotional strength and your ability to get yourself through anything, through any problem, by being with yourself, showing yourself compassion, never leaving yourself, never beating down yourself, never hurt yourself. Like, you are with you and with your body for the rest of your life, for the rest of your time here. Make it your friend, make it your best friend, and treat it right. So I'm gonna end on this note. This is a topic, don't worry guys, I'm gonna talk more about it on here, and I'm gonna have some more structured episodes on it as well. So no panic, no worries, but I have really enjoyed coming on here and speaking to you guys. I hope you guys like this episode. I think I'm just gonna drop it and not worry about too much about the editing. So hopefully you guys love this one, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear those podcast interviews that we have coming up. They're gonna be so good, and just this whole entire journey is, they're gonna be so good, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about them. So thank you always for tuning in, and talk to you soon.